great records, 23-6 and 22-6. And here's the coach starting lineups. You're going to love Levert Threets. He is a real treat to watch. He can hit the three-pointer from anywhere, a real threat. And I'm not the alliteration punning you to death here. He is something to watch. And, of course, the coach, Mac McCarthy for UTC. In his 7th year, he was the Southern Conference Coach of the Year. We take a look at the coach starting lineups for East Tennessee State, and the Buccaneers have a real star in the middle. His name is Greg Dennis, 6'11", the biggest guy, I think, in the conference, and he is their #1 scorer in history, over 2,000 points in his career. Their coach, Alan LaForce, in his 2nd year, 50-11, and he has never lost in this tournament, 5-0. Tennessee, Chattanooga, look at what they have done in this tournament. Easy, breezing all the way through to the finals, and they were a winner on the road at East Tennessee State in a close game by the 6. Now, East Tennessee is going for their 4th straight conference title, therefore their 4th appearance in the NCAA. They were a winner by a good margin on the road at Chattanooga. So, Terry Howland, who knows?
Well, it's very unusual for teams to win away from home, particularly teams that are this powerful, but it happened this year. And in fact, when UTC beat East Tennessee State, they broke their home court winning streak, and they were on a roll.
Out of the all-conference team, 4 players, 2 from each team, Keith Nelson and Tim Brooks for the Moccasins, and Rodney English and Calvin Talford for the Buccaneers. And East Tennessee, the #1 seed, via a coin flip, will have the chance to draw first blood. Almost like a family feud here. These schools about 200 miles apart.
Well, they know each other well, and in fact, the matchups for East Tennessee State present problems for everybody, including UTC.
Jason Niblett is on the scoreboard. It's 2-0. 2 cracks that time for East Tennessee, and they take the opportunity with that second chance.
Mike McCarthy changed his starting lineup slightly. He's got Redden in the game tonight to improve his ball handling against the pressure defense.
The little guard, Niblett, got the loose ball, but not before a foul was called inside.
UTC is not a big basketball team, but you can see how strongly they go to the boards, and they are a very physical basketball team.
Greg Dennis, the 6'11" senior from Charleston, West Virginia, picks up the foul. Terry, 6'11", 205. They don't get much skinnier than that, do they?
Well, he's a pretty powerful player around the basket, but what he does exceptionally well is he goes out on the perimeter and faces the basket and pulls your big man away from the goal.
Keith Nelson misses the first, a 69% free throw shooter on the year. This is a pretty good free throw shooting team, 70% on the year. And it's going to be loud in here, friends. It is jam-packed, and it's pretty well evenly split, I think, between both schools.
Well, both teams have had great years, and their fans are strongly behind them. Both of these teams will be in postseason play.
English will go. Threets with the rebound, and the Moccasins want to run. Redden, a surprise starter, got it inside. No, and look at the physical play. There's the foul. It is on UTC. It goes against Kelly Sutton, the shooting guard.
UTC is going to try to go inside as often as they can to Keith Nelson. He's very strong inside. An excellent player around the basket, and he would prefer to play close to the basket, not like Dennis.
Look at Dennis way out. There's a 6'11" kid playing on the point. Marty Story is not an offensive player. He's a defensive player. He'll help set screens. There's the guy they want to get the ball to. Dennis misses. He had 23 points in the semifinal yesterday. And Brooks had it blocked. He got it back. Blocked again, and Dennis comes away with it. Brooks is an awfully good offensive player, but he got stymied twice. Story has to put it back. Look at Dennis with the move. It's not there. And a tripping foul before, I think, a whole lot of contact. There was a collision there, wasn't it?
Well, neither team has given the other one much room, and when that happens, when you're playing as aggressively as they're playing defensively, there's going to be some contact, and you see it here. They're not giving up. Even when the man gets a shoulder by, they're still trying to make the play, and in those situations, quite often you do foul.
That foul, by the way, on Threets, his first, team second. 2 minutes gone here in Asheville. 2-1 our score. The big guy Dennis almost lost the handle. Niblett, oh, what a feed, and Dennis missed it.
think he was expecting the contact, Dave.
Bart Redden was there, but he was playing possum. Threets, who likes to shoot the three.
Well, if you pick up your dribble against East Tennessee State, they do a good job of closing off all the passing lanes, and that's one reason Redden's in the game, so that they'll have one more dribbler. Nelson in the post, 4 players on the perimeter. Look at the penetrators you see Threets through there.
That's the 3rd block in the game already, and another close shot missed inside. Dennis cleans the boards, and Niblett finds Story, but there's no way to shoot.
Well, both these teams are so good defensively, as you can see. There's just no room to get to the basket.
Threets another rebound. English has been quiet so far in this game, all conference. And Threets had it blocked. It's out of bounds. A clean block, and now the join.
Well, in going for the block that time, Threets allowed the defense to get in there, and he had something to say about it and ends up with a technical foul as well.
I guess if they're going to get a tee, do it early now and get this stuff out of the way, huh?
Well, I don't think he wanted one, but he certainly wasn't arguing that vociferously. It must have been what he said. And of course, that's a big turnaround, Dave, because that's an easy 2 points that he could have had just by laying it off the glass. He takes it to the middle of the floor, and instead of him getting 2 points, he's going to give East Tennessee State a crack at 2 and the basketball at the other end.
Oh, Talford really got up. It was clean, and maybe some embarrassment by Threets, and then the join, and it brought it out of him.
These officials in this tournament have been calling it very close, and they're going to make it clean. They're not going to allow any talking trash, and they've made that very clear in the first 2 games of the tournament. I'd have to say the players should have learned by now.
Mac McCarthy making very clear that he does not appreciate that. In the meantime, there's the missed tee by the man who made the block, Calvin Telford. And he's a 86% free throw shooter, Terry.
And the thing he does, too, is he's a slasher. He's one of those players that when he gets the ball in his hands, he's going to take it to the goal. He's got a lot of quick moves, and he draws a lot of fouls. So when he gets to the free throw line shooting 86%, he's very effective.
3-1 the score, and the Buccaneers get the ball back. Story sends it back out.
Marty Story can score. He just doesn't need to because this team has so many other ways to score.
And away from the basketball, a foul called on Rodney English. Got tangled up in a man trying to make a move. His first, team second.
Well, the real key to this game will be the team that can get some easy baskets out of their defense actually knock the ball loose so that they can get some easy points down at the other end of the floor, because going against the defense at the half-court level like this, it's very difficult for anybody to score.
A lot of physical play so far, and we thought this was a finesse league, didn't we?
Well, both teams can shoot the three-pointer extremely well.
Woods is sub off the bench, who had a great game yesterday in the semifinals, 18 points, which tied his season high. He's almost instant offense, but missed there. 3-1 the score. ETSU with the ball and the lead. Trezell Silvers in for ETSU. He dives for the ball. It's not there. Here is a 2-on-2, and Brooks. No, and a charge.
Definitely offensive. There should have been a little give and take there between the 2 players. You've got a 2-on-1. Brooks does a great job taking it to the basket, but he doesn't pull up. You've got to pull up there. Jason Niblett doing an excellent job of playing defense and holding position.
Absolutely. He's a little guy, although Brooks isn't huge. And Jerry Pelfrey into the game for ETSU. That's the brother of John Pelfrey at Kentucky. He's a junior, and he can shoot. Talford, look at the D. I mean, it is active on both sides.
Even though these are great three-point shooting teams, you can see the defense for both teams is extended way out.
English couldn't get it to go, and everybody hit the boards. Sutton from 3. Yes! The first 3 of the game. It's Kelly Sutton, and UTC takes their first lead.
Good move by Sutton to pull up and take the jumper. The numbers were in his favor, and the three-pointer gave them an excellent chance to score either on the make or on the rebound.
Pelfrey couldn't get it to go. Sneed in the game now. Ed Sneed, who usually starts, and he gets his first rebound. There's a pretty shot by Brooks. It wouldn't go. English with the rebound for East Tennessee State.
These teams are playing so hard, yet they've only scored a total of 7 points. And, of course, the reason is the defense is great, and you can see it from the shooting percentages.
Oh, look at that. Only the 7 points, and we've played 5 minutes. No, Talford is cold. Sutton going one-on-one. Thinks better. Oh, and a nice defensive play by English. He may be cold, but he's playing both sides. Here's the alley-oop to him, knocked away.
Great job of getting back that time by the Moccasins.
Well, Terry, the Moccasins average 81.5 points a game. The Buccaneers average almost 87 points a game. Nobody can score. 4-3 still to score after that miss. 2 field goals. We've played 6 minutes. Niblett left open for a second, and he got it. He's got 5 of the Buccaneers' 6, and it's a 2-point game.
I would say as the teams get a little tired defensively, that there will be a little more room to get those shots, and you saw Niblett take advantage of it that time.
So the fatigue in this case could help your offense.
Actually, it may, because the defense can't continue to play with this kind of intensity unless you do a lot of substituting. These guys are playing their 3rd game in 3 days.
And normally they'll only substitute about 3, maybe 4 per side. A holding foul underneath. I believe it's Trezell Silvers, the sophomore from Clinchco, Virginia. They say he's going to be something special. He's loaded with potential.
Well, he really can get on the defensive boards.
Timeout on the floor. 13.5 to go in the first half. It's a defensive struggle here in Asheville. We promised you the Hatfield and the McCoys here in the Civic Center. We're getting it. 6-4, only 2 field goals, 3 field goals now scored in the game. It's been really Tigers clawing at one another.
Well, like you said, they're shooting at each other. It's the Hatfields and McCoys. Only they're firing blanks right now. And again, I give the defense credit for that.
Tennessee Chattanooga with the advantage on the boards thus far, but it's the Buccaneers with the 2-point lead.
Well, that's a lot of rebounds for this early in the game, but of course that's because there have been a lot of missed shots.
Held free and the foul, no doubt about it.
And you can see how aggressive both these teams are defensively. They got a chance to get their breath on the sidelines, and again, they're making a play on every pass.
That's the 4th team foul. He bumped right into Redden. Redden a starter tonight, basically because he plays good D. So both teams, I think, in the beginning said, we'll sacrifice some O to make this a close defensive struggle.
And, of course, Redden, too, is a very physical player, and they were worried about who would guard Rodney English for them, and Redden has done a nice job on him. We haven't heard from English.
Nelson, who could score, he was wide open at the top, and elected to go to Stewart just in the game. Outshot rims out. What else is he? Sneed. He missed inside and traveled before he took the shot.
Well, that's the kind of shot they want to get from Nelson, but you could see he was a little bit outside his range, and again, the defense had pushed him out. As he went up for the basketball, the defense put pressure on him with the body and shoved him just a little bit outside his normal shooting range.
Palmer in the game, and he draws the foul. Here is a little guy, Eric Palmer, just a sophomore from Boiling Springs, South Carolina. He is very quick.
He's 5'6", and he's in there to make something happen. And when he comes in the game, something usually does happen, and usually it's positive for the Buccaneers.
Sutton back in the game, the starter. And Eric Palmer, who shoots 53%, not that many free throws so far this year, only 8 of 15. And he gives his team a 3-point lead, 7-4 with 13 minutes left to go in the first half. I'm Dave Voloshin along with Terry Howland. Nice to have you with us today. Not that time. Down to 3s. Sutton looks in. Nelson with the move, and that's why he's all conference right there.
That time he didn't settle for the turnaround jumper. He pulled the defense to him and took it to the basket. Well, that was a nice move.
Again, man-to-man defense that extends out to the perimeter. There's a toughness by Snow Pelfrey. And Sneed, who's come in and played a couple of good minutes so far, got the ball for his Moccasins. Tennessee Chattanooga down by 1. effort all over Sutton. They'll try to re-trigger the offense. Another turnover.
Right now, UTC is playing without their playmaker, Tim Brooks. And he is a great assist man, averaging almost 7 a game this year, and you can see that they miss him out there.
Talford has left the game. Story is back in. You lose some offense there, but you pick up defense again. Redden has left too for Tennessee Chattanooga.
Again, neither team has been able to create the kind of turnovers that they can take advantage of at the other end of the floor, which we've seen them do so often in other games.
Now there's an air ball by English. Is that defense, or are these teams just sloppy?
I think it's defense, and of course, both teams have played 2 games already, so maybe they're trying to make tougher plays.
Again, good defense, and finally on the second opportunity to tip in, I think it goes to Snead. Tennessee Chattanooga back in the lead. Only one team will go to the NCAA, and this is the type of pressure and the atmosphere you figure you're going to get in a conference championship.
Well, with 22 and 23 wins, both these teams can make a case for an at-large bid, but again, it has never happened in the Southern Conference, so they know that if they want to go, they've got to win tonight.
English with another air ball, and here is a guy averaging 18 a game and shooting 41% from the field. Sloppy play again, and look at them hit the deck. Stewart save. Nelson, you got it.
You can see how hard you have to work to get a basket and how hard both these teams are playing. The only reason they had an advantage that time was because 2 of these Tennessee State players were on the floor.
English the 3 to tie. Nelson lost the ball, but Pelfrey reached in.
Well, this is a good move by East Tennessee State. They know that they need English to play well. He's an excellent player at both ends of the floor, really rebounds the basketball. They're trying to get him untracked, and that's why they're going to him right now.
That's the 15th team foul on Tennessee Chattanooga. Nobody can get the upper hand. 10.5 minutes left to go in the first half. 3-point game for Tennessee Chattanooga. Game there, and what a game here. A little different. This is all defense. 10-7. Tennessee Chattanooga over East Tennessee. Both teams have had 3-point leads, and it's been all defense. And some people may say this is a poorly played game when you look at those numbers. But, Terry, I just see so much defensive effort on both sides.
Well, neither team is playing tentatively. I mean, they're playing hard. They're going at each other. And there's so much at stake here, Dave. I think probably that's it. And often you get a game that's not pretty, but the intensity level is definitely there. And I think we'll have a close game.
Defensive games are not pretty, but that's usually what will win you a championship, and that appears to be what will determine this thing here. These are experienced teams. 4 seniors and a junior on East Tennessee. Look at the spin move by Dennis, and he's on the scoreboard finally. He's been shut out. It's a 1-point game.
But he had to beat 2 guys, Dave, to get a basket. And again, that's what I say. The baskets come so hard because the defense is playing so well.
Sutton, nice spin move. Now the offense may loosen up a little bit. 5 for Sutton. The lead 3 again for Tennessee Chattanooga. Duke in a good game today.
Great clear out that time for Sutton, enabled him to go one-on-one.
A deuce. Just 2.
Calvin Talford takes about half his shots from that range, and usually he's outside the circle from 3-point range. Here's a young man who had arthroscopic surgery just a week or so ago, missed the last home game and came back to play in the last road game against Appalachian State.
Back into the game comes Rhett Pelfrey, leaving the game for East Tennessee, and Snead, who's played very well off the bench, gets a bit of a breather too.
Snead played well, and that big lineup served UTC well.
Stewart, no, and a charge call to use the arm to push off.
Again, they had the isolation that time with Nelson trying to come back inside, and he tried to do the same thing that we saw Sutton do, but you saw he pushed off with that right arm as he went to his left. You want to protect yourself by holding that arm out, but you want to hold it stiff. You don't want to push against the defense.
There's a fine line, but you can see it. Here's Colton. No. Nelson, another rebound. He's been doing the main work on the boards for the Moccasins, and they lead in that department. There's a tough shot by Sutton. He's got 7 as he starts to heat up. A couple in a row for him. Tennessee Chattanooga back by 3. Silver, no, and Nelson got the rebound. A foul underneath as Sutton tried to hit his 3rd in a row. It's on Talford.
That may be a good idea for both teams to sort of go to one player and focus the offense. Both of these are very balanced offensive teams. They get scoring from a lot of different places. But maybe in a game like this, it's so physical, they need to focus their offense on one player. Sutton is getting hot. Go to him until you force the defense to adjust to him, and then go to somebody else. And that might be a good idea for East Tennessee State as well. Both coaches are racking their brains to try to figure out how to put points on the board at this point.
14-11 our score. No team is led by more than 3 in the Southern Conference Championship in Nashville, North Carolina. And that remains the same way. It's been nip and tuck. The first 5 minutes, only 7 points were scored by 2 teams that average in the 80s. It's just been terrific defense. Both coaches, Mac McCarthy, you just saw, and Alan LaForce, that was the game plan, to keep it close by a defense. 15-11 the score.
East Tennessee posting up English now, and they'll move a lot of different people into that post area. They bring English outside. You can see them running the little baseline shuffle.
Look at Red and right in on Story. I mean, wearing it. There's the alley-oop and a good block. They call it on the inside player. You could see the hit go out, Terry. It was on Woods.
They worked very hard to get that situation, and Rodney English asked for the basketball. Woods saw it, but when he recovered back underneath, and that's definitely a foul.
I guess if you can't move the ball in the paint down low, try it above, huh?
This is a nice pass and a good idea, because the defense was anticipating the cut to the ball, and what Rodney English did is he waited behind the screen and asked for it over the top.
English not on the scoreboard yet. Their leading scorer, 18 points a game. They played the D on him. And that's one of the reasons that Bart Redden started for Chattanooga, was to just get in this man's face.
Yeah, Mac McCarthy was very worried about Rodney English, and his defensive game plan has been excellent so far.
71% free throw shooter, misses them both. And Chattanooga, with their biggest lead, could increase on that.
East Tennessee State switches to the zone.
Sutton, who's been hot, hits a 3, and now it's a 7-point game.
That's 11 of their 18 points from their 4th leading scorer, Kelly Sutton.
English couldn't hold on. Redden tries to save, and so does Sutton, but he traveled.
I like what East Tennessee State is doing. They're going to Rodney English. They are focusing their offense on him right now. They know they've got to get him on track. He hasn't scored in the first 12 minutes and 20 seconds of this game.
He averages 11 a game, and he's there right now, just about with 10. And his team is now up by 7.
There's only one way to make buttermilk biscuits really good. From scratch, baked fresh, all morning. It's not the easy way, but it's the right way. Hardee's, goodness in the making.
The Moccasins of UTC are trying to put a damper on that party.
East Tennessee averages over 86 points a game, and right now they're on track to score less than 40. I mean, what a great defensive job UTC has done.
Then it's no. Wow, they box out again. They're really controlling the boards, the Moccasins.
Well, again, Kelly Sutton has done a tremendous job on offense, and he's been the offense essentially in this basketball game. He has 11 points, and that's as many as East Tennessee State has as a team.
And the 3 is answered by Pelfrey. Oh, did East Tennessee need that? His first points, and it's a 4-point game. That gets the East Tennessee fans back into it.
Well, they're such an explosive team. It doesn't take long for them to put points on the board. And that, again, is just something that worries Mac McCarthy.
Again, away from the basketball, the second foul on Talford.
His second, team 7.
That's the 7th. It's 1-and-1 time. Wisconsin, Green Bay. Oh, they're a terrific team with Tony Bennett and his father-son combination.
That's a great combination.
Yeah. It's kind of interesting seeing more and more of that, I think, as time goes on. Would you have liked to coach your son?
Well, I'd like to recruit my son. Save a lot of travel.
The Moccasins get it back. The lowest point total in a half this year for East Tennessee is 24, and there's Snead again. He's playing terrific off the bench tonight, but he's accepted that role.
Great catch by Snead, but give Kelly Sutton credit for the assist.
Talford, look at the rebound, then stripped by Sutton, and he picks up the foul. That's his second. A reminder coming up, Southwestern Louisiana, the Ragin' Cajuns against the Bulldogs of Louisiana Tech. The champion, of course, goes on to the NCAA. Lots of fun on championship week. It's been a busy day around ESPN today, all the championship games. One and one for Talford, who's old.
Well, again, he's an excellent free throw shooter, and we haven't seen him at his best because with an open court situation, he really can move to the basketball, and he can finish plays spectacularly. 3 for 3 from the line tonight for the 6'4" senior, and now it's a 4-point game again.
Snead and there's a tie-up as Snead and Stewart, or rather Sutton, got tied up. And Sutton pushed his own player away.
Yeah, that might should have been a travel rather than a jump ball, but they call a jump ball first. That'll leave it in the Moccasins' possession.
Credit East Tennessee for coming in and grabbing on. At least they have the arrow now.
East Tennessee back to the zone. Last time they went to this, Kelly Sutton drilled the three-pointer. I'm sort of surprised to see him in it right now.
Nelson got it in the corner. Redden with a nice move. And right to Nelson, and he missed the jam. Snead a 3. That was a brick. Stewart. No. It still won't go. Finally, Nelson.
Again, you see the intensity there, the way Chattanooga went after the ball on the boards. UT Chattanooga really just staying after it until they beat it in the goal.
Nelson's got 7, the lead back to 6. Look at the fence in the paint there as the Moccasins control the boards. And a foul. Nelson picks up on the number 1.
UT Chattanooga is just given nothing inside. If you come in there, the best you can hope for is to get to the free throw line. And a nice job by Pelfrey taking it in there, but now they've got to start making the free throws.
Pelfrey, a 72% free throw shooter, nothing but net. He's got 4, and it's a 5-point game. East Tennessee led early by 4. Tennessee Chattanooga's biggest lead was 7 not too long ago at 18-11. Pelfrey cuts it down to 4, and here's full court pressure. With plenty of time to spare across that 10-second line. 25-10. That's quite a margin there. You'd think the lead would be bigger, Terry, with that kind of margin.
Well, a lot of those have been offensive rebounds, and they were missed shots, and they missed them again and again and again, so finally they got it in the basket, and those rebounds add up, and they're not very effective.
Little upset there in the Atlantic 10. Snead will take a rest, well-deserved. Nice passing. There's a clean block by Dennis, but a block. It's called on Pelfrey, and that's the 3rd on Jerry Pelfrey.
Number 30, Jerry Pelfrey.
We'll get a chance to see this. Good penetration here, and he has to move because He's sliding by, so it's going to be a basket or a foul, and he chooses to take the foul. Sending Stewart to the free throw line. Stewart is another player who's not a great offensive player. He only takes what's there, and that time he saw the opening to the basket and took advantage of it.
3-point play.
He has not scored yet today.
Just a very solid basketball player. Plays excellent defense, doesn't make mistakes.
Nails it. And it's 25-18. Dennis one-on-one. Nothing there. Now Crawford's wide open. He didn't hesitate. He may have gotten fouled.
Stewart got there late, and of course he did knock Calvin Talford down.
Sutton will kick it out. Patience, and there's good defense right there. Just quick hands on the part of English.
English leads this team in steals, and he does have quick hands. He gets a lot of deflections, and that's important to coaches.
Palmer missed the three. Stewart just trying to keep the ball away from the hoop. Knocked it out of bounds. Mac McCarthy pacing. He's nervous. Up by 7.
He knows his team can't let up at all because East Tennessee State can score points in bunches.
Silvers, who has the potential to score, can't find anything inside. They want to get it to Dennis, but he looks at two people every time. Silvers just barely holds on, and he'll force. No, and look at the little guy Stewart. You talk about knowing roles and boxing out. He did that there.
Well, good position by Stewart, and one of his great contributions this year was holding Terry Boyd of Western Carolina to 3 for 15 shooting. Just a great defensive job.
What a move inside by Nelson, and Nelson now has 9 points in the game, and that's exactly what the lead is. The biggest margin of the night for Tennessee Chattanooga. Dennis a 3, and he got it. Oh, when they needed an answer, the big guy got it for him.
And you can see both teams are a little bit tired now. You can see they're heavy-legged getting up and down the floor, and when that happens, you tend to get your own man, and you don't help out as much, and that's why Nelson was open at the other end a while ago for the one-on-one move, and what a great move he made.
Trying to get it into Nelson. Why not? He's been hot, and there's a steal by Silver. All the way, yes!
Silvers is one of the few players right now who looks fresh, and he's just come off the bench, hasn't played many minutes. You can see everybody else is tired.
5 in a row for East Tennessee State, and they're back in this game with 3 minutes and 7 seconds to go in the first half. East Tennessee has scored the last 4 in a row, and now field goal shooting heating up a little bit for Tennessee Chattanooga, and believe it or not, East Tennessee too.
They've improved the percentages. That last timeout, Mac McCarthy wasn't happy about that. Kelly Sutton called the timeout, but they were hoping to get a TV timeout rather than using up one of those precious 3 that you have in a TV game.
The next dead ball would have given him that. That missed shot means Tennessee Chattanooga, or rather ETSU, can move to within 2, even 1 with a 3. Offenses have picked up here a little bit the last couple of minutes, and there's another one that English just couldn't get to go. Terry, he's still scoreless. He's their top scorer.
Well, again, in the post situations, the defenses at both ends of the floor are shoving those guys out a little farther.
Sutton, what a move! It counts.
Well, that may be the 3rd foul on Calvin Talford.
Foul ball number 24, Calvin Talford.
Great move. We saw him go left earlier. This time he goes to his right. Really good job of wedging himself in there and just not allowing the defense to get back into play. And it is the 3rd foul on Calvin Talford, and that could be just as big on the scoring end of it in terms of taking Talford out of the game.
He'll have to sit on until the second half. You're right. Hard to believe that, as quick as he is, Sutton got around him. Sutton, 13 points, make it 14 now, and it's back to a 7-point advantage for the Moccasins. Nice. English again couldn't get it to go, and did you see the defense by Redden?
Well, that's what you should do, though. East Tennessee State going to their strength, UTC taking it away from them. Great block.
Sutton, no room to breathe, and they called it. That foul on Reese Dudley, who only plays about 6 minutes a game, didn't play in all the games this year. That costly third foul that's offered has made Alan LaForce go deep into the deck.
Well, also, he's trying to create some opportunities with his defense. He knows that playing against that half-court defense of UTC is not going to produce the results that they need to get back in this game. They're going to have to knock the ball loose and get it in good offensive position and get some transition points.
Wild game in that first one with Cleveland State. Sutton is season high 21. He's having a whale of a day so far. Inside and English finally on the scoreboard. Well, they didn't give up on the game plan. They have kept going inside to him.
And I like that. I like the fact that East Tennessee State said, we're going to go to our strength. We're going to get Rodney English back in this game somehow. You're not going to take him out of the game.
7-point contest. Woods will go to work on Silver. Yes.
That's an impressive move. That looked like Keith Nelson down there moving, and I'm sure Mac McCarthy's glad to see that since Nelson won't be here next year.
Now, we mentioned Woods can play, and he's had a good tournament, 18 yesterday. Here's the three. Palmer, no, but Dennis with the rebound and the foul.
One of the very few offensive rebounds, though, that they've been able to come up with, and of course that has been the difference in the game, the fact that UTC has been able to get second shots, and a lot of those have been in the paint, of course.
And that's been English again, who's their best rebounder. He's been shut off. Silvers with a nice steal. And Reese leaves it for him underneath. And there's a quick run now by ETSU, and they close it to 5.
And, of course, the defense created that, and you saw the numbers in their favor, 4-on-1 down to the other end of the floor.
East Tennessee will take those kind of breaks all night long. A reminder, at halftime, John Saunders will have highlights of USC and Washington State and the battle in the Big Ten with Indiana and Michigan. And then 2 more tourney bursts decided today. Neal into the game. That's the brother of Craig Neal. Shane Neal is a freshman from Marietta, Georgia.
And of course, Craig Neal, a great player down at Georgia Tech. His brother Shane in the game now. And he's in for Kelly Sutton, which is a real story. Kelly Sutton sprained his ankle slightly. He didn't want to come out of the game, but you could tell that he was humbled. And Mac McCarthy said, no, I'm not going to leave you out there and take a chance on making a mistake because you're hurt.
Tomorrow, championship week continues. The Metro team, Chip Tulsa, surprised Southern Illinois today. They'll play Southwest Missouri State. That'll be a dandy. Shane Neal misses the first. His brother, a terrific free throw shooter at Georgia Tech, plays in the WBL. And Shane, 6 of 8 until then, 6 of 9 now on the year. One more, and the freshman cans that and gives his team a 6-point lead. Under a minute to play here in Asheville. Silver's 4 in the game off the bench. No. Dennis to follow. No. Third time blocked, but he's fouled. Good effort by Dennis. And boy, did Sneed, who gives up about 4 inches, battle him all the way.
Well, of course, it was not just second effort. It was third effort. He got up and down very quickly, and he just stayed after it till he got it in the goal.
Both teams now with 10 fouls, and the substitution, Neal will leave.
This is interesting. Tim Brooks has not been in the game since early in the half, and he leads his team in steals. His statistics are very impressive. He's only the 3rd leading scorer, but he does a lot of different things for UT Chattanooga.
He leads the conference in assists and steals.
Look at the effort by Dennis here. Greg Dennis just stays after.
Dennis misses the first free throw. He's a good shot from the line, 76% on the year. Trying to make this a 5-point game with 37 seconds left in the first half. That one rocked, rattled, and rolled through. Brooks, with Sutton out now, if the ankle is bad, he'll have to really pick up the slack.
Of course, Palmer is all over him, and a lot of substitutions by East Tennessee State to keep a fresh defensive team on the floor, and it's paid off for them. Chattanooga
will play for the last shot. You see the game clock, the shot clock is turned off.
Only 10 seconds left. They need to be in their offensive set right now.
And Brooks will try to create. He can't. Somebody better shoot. It's going to have to be red and stripped, and here's the shot at the buzzer. It wouldn't have counted anyway. A wild first half in Asheville, North Carolina. The Southern Conference Championship with the winner going on to the big party, and right now UTC with the advantage. Here's John Saunders.
Of those 15 rebounds, 7 were offensive rebounds, and that helped them get back in the game as well.
Those 9 turnovers really the only thing maybe that sees Tennessee State in the game, and there's been a, well, there's Calvin Talford's mom, I guess, and he had foul trouble. He's picked up his 3rd and wasn't able to play much of the first half because of it. Well, look at the difference on the year. Of course, you got a second half to play. It's been a terrific night for Kelly Sutton. He's scored 16 to lead the way for Tennessee Chattanooga. His career high is 21, so he could really bring his team to a different level. And you see Sutton Dennis with the 8, and he's got the ball right now. He needs to get hot. English has been called. He's their top scorer. He's been called all night. Dennis scores the first 2 of the second half and immediately makes it a 3-point game.
Well, number 11's a lucky number tonight, Dave. That's 10 points for Greg Dennis, and of course Kelly Sutton already has 16, and he's number 11 for the Moccasins.
Sutton hurt an ankle. We'll see how he is. He is in. Here's Brooks, who didn't play that much in the first half, surprisingly. They go right into Nelson, and you see him back off Dennis and make the great play. He's got 11, and that was terrific. Story will take the 3, not known to be a shooter, and he missed it. Look at Brooks get the rebound, and Chattanooga takes their time. Nelson and Dennis blocked that one. Nelson again, and he's got 4 in a row.
Well, Nelson's got a lot of room to operate down there all of a sudden. That wasn't true in the first half. East Tennessee State did a great job of helping out, and somehow he's isolated down there right now, and the pass is still being thrown in basically from the wing. There should be help down there for him.
Spreading the perimeter just a little bit and making it easier. Here's Dennis, and he'll take the deuce, and he got it. So it's a battle between Dennis and Nelson, both the inside players having their way. The long one from Brooks wouldn't go. And English with a big rebound there, and he's been quiet on the boards too. He's their top rebounder and scorer. They let Niblett alone. And the rebound to Story, keeping it alive. Talford, here's the 3. Yes!
And of course, those 3-pointers can add up very quickly.
2-point game. No look pass. Nelson. It's a charge.
Well, Greg Dennis did all he could. Nelson had the ball in great offensive position. The only play he could make was this play. And again, he's not getting much help down there. Give the Moccasins credit for creating the isolations there. Nice pass by Redden. Good job by Dennis. Did a little acting probably to ensure the call.
I think he did, yeah. Part of the game. For a big guy, he's got it all. Inside English, and we are tied.
And who made the pass? Greg Dennis, number 11.
That's a 7-0 run for the Buccaneers. And Mac McCarthy can't afford a timeout early. He used one. Sutton called it early in the first half, actually late when a TV timeout was coming, so he really cashed one in. He shouldn't have. Nelson continues to operate. And Talford comes to life on the bench, and before he traveled, he got rid of the ball.
A lot more help down there on Nelson that possession. Marty Story was helping out.
Talford knocked away, and he draws the foul. It's on Sutton, his 3rd.
Well, this is what Talford does so well. Drives the ball to the basket and gets to the free throw line. And again, once he gets there, he shoots well over 85%. When you can shoot the 3-pointer and pull defenses to you like he can, and also have that slashing ability to the basket, you're awfully tough to defend.
So Sutton and Talford have taken each other to task, and they both have 3. Talford misses his first free throw tonight. 8 in the game. He's 3 out of 4 from the line. And Alan LaForce has never lost a Southern Conference tournament game. And he's looking at his senior to give him the lead, and he did it.
I remember Calvin Talford from high school. He was a great athlete, a 3-sport athlete in high school, and has had a marvelous career. He's the 3rd leading scorer in East Tennessee State history.
Mr. Jennings, number 2 now, and there's the reach-in foul. It's on Story.
Now, this is very unusual. You've got 2 of the top 3 career scorers on the floor right now. We have Greg Dennis, who's the leading career scorer. Of course, Mr. Jennings is second. And now Calvin Talford is number 3 on that list.
And you know, it's funny because Tom Chilton held the scoring record for about 30 years. And suddenly this team has just knocked him off. Boom, boom, boom. High in the air. No, Talford got it, though. 8-0 run. Here's the alley-oop. Good defense by Woods, and everybody hits the floor. The travel goes against the Moccasins. And poor Brooks, he gave up his body, I think his wrist, too.
Well, that's great hustle, and it amounts to a turnover. That's tough luck.
Tuesday, don't forget, more championship week, the Patriot League Championship from Bethlehem, Pennsylvania, then the Mid-Continent Conference Championship. That'll come to you from Cleveland, Ohio. Dennis draws the foul. It's on Nelson, and that's his 3rd.
Well, Nelson did a good job defensively of holding position. At the last minute when Dennis went up, he reached in, used his hands, and fouled. Good job of moving his feet up until the very last second.
The complexion of this game has completely changed in the second half. East Tennessee in the midst of this 8-0 run, and they were in foul trouble. Pelfrey had 3, Telford had 3 in the first half. Suddenly Sutton's got 3 and Nelson's got 3. Neither of those can be lost to this ball club. Dennis for 3, short. English working the boards and straight back up.
English probably got away with a little bit of a push off there, but he does such a good job of elevating.
3-point lead and a 10-0 run now. Sutton will try to answer. He's been the problem solver the whole game.
When Sutton had the basketball that time, East Tennessee players all paid attention to him and where he was.
Brooks couldn't get open, but Sutton does. And yes, what a play. It's a 2. That'll end that run. He's got 18 now on the night. 1-point lead for East Tennessee. Nice pass inside. Story battling, no, but the foul is drawn.
And Nelson's coming out of there like it's maybe on him, and if that's true, that's going to be his 4th.
It's not. It's on Bart Redden. Fortunately for that man, Mac McCarthy and his team, but he finds himself now down by 1.
He was shut out early in the game and really wasn't on the offensive boards either. All of a sudden doing a little bit of everything.
There you look at the difference. And that's good hustle, and Woods comes away with the ball to Brooks. 1-point game, and the Moccasins will try to recapture the lead. Woods over English, yes. Woods with 4 in the game. We've mentioned that Rodney English only 4 points in the game, but LeVert Threets, and we featured him in the open, he has been held scoreless in this game. Where has he been? Alford, yes!
Give both coaches credit for trying to take away the other team's strength, and that's what you want to do defensively. You want to try to take away what the other team does best, and LeVert Threets shut out. Rodney English was shut out for a while for East Tennessee State.
Well, 9 in the game for Talford, or rather 14-9 in this half for Talford. 14:40 left in the game, and it's East Tennessee by the deuce. That is Southern Conference. But you're used to this stuff. This tournament's the oldest, I think, in the country, isn't it, Terry?
They've been deciding their champions since 1921 with this Southern Conference tournament. And most people don't realize this is the mother of the Southeastern Conference. 1932, the Southeastern split off, and in 1953, the ACC split off. So it's the mother of both of those very powerful conferences.
Very deep roots, and they were playing tournaments before the NCAA even began their shindig.
That's exactly right.
Well, a substitution for Redden, and Sneed will leave the game. Nelson's back in. Threets, Sutton, Woods out there for Tennessee Chattanooga, with Brooks who will inbound the ball.
Tennessee Chattanooga's gotten good play off the bench. I like David Woods. He's done a nice job.
Sutton couldn't get it to go. Nelson just lost the ball on the way to a jam, and Talford winds up in the 3rd row. They are hustling everywhere. You can tell that this is a championship game. The effort has been there the whole time. Even when They were 1 for 9 and 1 for 7 respectively in the first 5 minutes. There was perspiration on the floor just about everywhere you looked.
Well, again, neither team allowed the other team to get to the basket with anything. They just said, you're not coming into the paint area.
Dennis, who's been in the paint area quite a bit in the second half, leaves with 12. Little lineup in here now with 3 guards in essence for East Tennessee. Story knocks it away. It'll belong to the Moccasins.
Now notice what a crowd Kelly Sutton's drawing every time he has the basketball now. East Tennessee State is very aware of the game that he's having.
Substitution into the Buccaneer lineup, number 30.
Another substitution for East Tennessee. Pelfrey's in, and Talford will take a rest. So Story, Pelfrey, Silvers, you've got a bunch of substitutes in there now, along with Palmer, the backup point guard, and English, your mainstay. He remains in the game. Threets, we mentioned he's been quiet. He wants to force something, and finally on the scoreboard, averaging 17 a game in his first deuce, and he ties the contest up.
And he's known as a three-point shooter, but that time, what a move to the basket. Very strong.
English, the tough play, yes. And we're starting to see the athletic ability now of certain players take over.
And again, they can't get Rodney English the ball coming to it. Now what they're doing is taking advantage of the defense waiting on him and going over the top to it.
Story is on Sutton. That's the defense on the offensive star in the game. 13 and a half left to go. 47-45. East Tennessee, a little tangle in the lane. And Silver, I think, got caught up with Nelson. You got to stop him some way. That's the second on Trezell Silvers. And Alan LaForce, happy with the way his team has played in the second half, you can be sure.
Well, that was a good substitution he made to get Calvin Talford out of the game and get him a little bit of a blow. He doesn't want him to pick up what we call a fatigue foul.
Story bang bodies with Sutton. Fans don't like the call, but it'll hold, and that's the senior's second. Looks like a linebacker, doesn't he? 6'3", 195-pounder from Greenville, Tennessee. He's the only starter amongst the 10 here in 2 Tennessee schools that are from that state. Pelfrey the block. The little guy gives it on Palmer to Story, and there is a foul on Palmer. You see Story with that circus shot?
That was a great move, but a good block, too.
See Chattanooga's undoing maybe those 11. What do you figure? Is that a point and a half per turnover, the difference?
I'd say at least that, because it's 2 points that you don't have a chance to get, as well as 2 points that the other team quite often gets if you give them the basketball in a good offensive position.
Sutton with the nifty move. No, English another rebound. That's the difference between him this half and last. He's really hit the boards hard. Nothing for Palmer. He really loses the height there. They list him at 5'6". That's probably about right. Nick Brooks, who's 6 feet tall, looked like a giant. Nice move. Silvers, no, but Nelson couldn't hold on. It should belong to East Tennessee.
I think Trezell Silvers surprised them with that move. They're not used to seeing him out there moving with the basketball.
At number 42, Ed Sneed.
Some more substitutions. Sneed, who's played so well, is in. And there you see the breather for Sutton and for Woods. Dennis back in the game now, too, and Silvers, who's played hard, will catch some air.
Both these coaches are doing an excellent job of moving their lineups around. Calvin Talford back in the game right now, in for Story. So they're trying to keep fresh players on the court, and that's a good move when you're playing your 3rd game in 3 days.
And Alan LaForce brings in some more offense, too. Talford finds the man. It's Dennis. Blocked beautifully by Sneed, and an offensive foul called on the big guy, Dennis. That's only his second.
Keith Nelson returns the favor here. He holds position just as Dennis did on him earlier in the half. He made it look like he was going to go up for the block. Had he left the floor, it would have been a foul on Nelson. He stays on the floor, draws the charge.
Well, we talked about those turnovers. Look at the difference. You were right. It is more than a point and a half.
Well, even when Chattanooga has gotten turnovers, as they did early in the game, they weren't able to take advantage of it.
That foul is on English. That's the 3rd on English. The 5th team foul now on East Tennessee.
Well, that's 3 East Tennessee State players with 3 fouls: Pelfrey, Talford, and English.
2 by the Moccasins, and they're important ones, Nelson and Sutton. Sutton not in the game at the moment. Still 47-45 as the Moccasins try to tie. Nelson does it. 6.5 for Nelson and 15 in the game.
Good execution on the underneath out of bounds.
Telford's been hot from the outside. This is a similar defense to what we saw at the beginning of the game. Look at Telford with a quick shot. No, Dennis got it right back and missed, but there's Pelfrey. And he got it.
Again, early in the game, they were getting absolutely no offensive rebounds. UT Chattanooga was controlling the boards at both ends of the floor.
Brooks with the nifty move. No, and Telford got the rebound and then threw it away as he was going down. Brooks the deuce. No, everybody banging boards. Dennis tries to control and finally does. It is physical in the paint at the moment.
And East Tennessee State is starting to control the boards at both ends of the floor.
English had to kick it out, and here's the three. In and out. And the foul inside. I think it's either going to be Nelson or Threets. It's Threets.
They could have easily called it on Pelfrey as well. He's pushing his way in. You can see it from the side here. Both players are leaning on each other. It's hard to tell who the foul is on.
Threets was the one they whistled it on. And there is a timeout. 11:20 in this championship game of the Southern Conference. It's oh so close. East Tennessee by a precious 2. Thanks, John. We got a dandy here. 49-47. We promised you a feud like the Hatfield and the McCoys in Tennessee, and we're getting it that way now, Terry.
What does it take? 1 effort? No. 2 efforts? No. 3, maybe 4 in this game. And, of course, East Tennessee State is doing it right now at both ends of the floor on the boards. They are out-rebounding a team that out-rebounded them in the first half 30-15. They're out-rebounding them 11-4 in this half.
Well, you play 40 minutes. And this has become a terrific game. A defensive struggle. It has not been pretty throughout, but it has been exciting. Kansas outdoing Missouri today. And look at that score. How about Villanova, Terry?
Well, that really is something because Villanova's just barely over 500. They've had some great wins, and they're definitely one of the 64 best teams in the country.
Bulls flex their muscle in Philly. Three on the shot clock, and English had a force, and he got it with 1 on the clock.
Well, that was unbelievable execution. Took it right down and went to their money man, Rodney English.
He's up to 8 now in the game, 6 in this half, and that's the biggest lead at 51-47. And a 5-second count. Brooks a little too fancy.
Well, he took so long to beat Eric Palmer. Palmer was playing good defense, but Brooks just went by him when he decided to. He just waited too long to do that.
Number 11, Kelly Sutton.
In comes Kelly Sutton, 18 in the game.
When you're down by 4 and you're having a game like Sutton's having, you want him on the floor, and that's what Mac McCarthy said. Kelly, you've had enough of a rest. Get back in there and play basketball.
And Brooks, who was guilty of the 5, took the seat on the bench. Palmer trying to figure out Sutton is even taller than Brooks was, and look at that move. It wouldn't go. Threets, who's been cold, only 2 points, doing his job on the boards, though. Again, a 4-point game. Sutton for 3. Not this time. The little guy goes up for the ball and knocked it off of a moccasin. Credit Palmer with a play there.
Now, Palmer made a good play at the defensive end to get the ball back, but at the offensive end, that was a tough play he made. To take it in that deep in the lane, only ask for the big guys to bother your shot.
Earlier in the half, they were going to this guy inside Dennis. They do it again, and that's their biggest lead tonight. 53-47, 9:42 left in the contest. Dennis now with 14.
Great job by Dennis. Set the screen for Talford first, and that ended up getting himself open.
And some time is called. I think there's an ice cube that's hit the Asheville Civic Center floor.
Well, the crowd really hasn't been rowdy except in terms of noise, so that's very unusual. I don't know how that ended up out there because the crowd has been cheering for their own team, each group of fans.
Woods beats the count, and the foul on English, no doubt. trying to keep it away from Treats, and that's number 4, and that will hurt.
Well, he's on track now. They do need his offense out on the floor.
You got to take him out, don't you?
Well, 9:34. Trezell Silvers comes into the game.
Brooks is back in for Tennessee Chattanooga. Here comes Silvers, and English knows he's about to take a seat on the bench. And you probably don't bring him back, depending on score, for at least 4.5 minutes or so.
Well, it depends on what happens. If you need him on the floor and he's that important to you, he's a senior, he's got to know how to play with fouls.
Treats comes up with a free throw when they need it to cut that lead down to 5.
Well, Treats has had a tough game. The defense is again concentrated on stopping these leading scores.
He broke Mr. Jennings' three-point record this year for the Southern Conference, and he hasn't even attempted a 3 today. 5-point game after the missed free throw. Oh, good pass from Silvers to Dennis. Seven-point game. Sutton looks almost confused for a second as he put Brooks where he wanted. Then the touch shot wouldn't go. He and Talford battle. It's out of bounds off of Talford. It'll belong to Tennessee Chattanooga.
Well, East Tennessee State now doing a good job of taking away the inside game from UT Chattanooga.
From the corner, no. Look at Brooks get the rebound and keep it alive. A 3 from him, and it won't go. Silvers, just in the game, gets the rebound. Telford wants the ball. Telford says, I'll take it myself. No. Dennis tries to get the ball. Everybody hits the deck, and the Moccasins come away with it.
Well, Telford had a good matchup down there against Kelly Sutton. They probably should have gone to him. Telford forced the drive to the basket.
Sutton was in Never Never Land, and Silvers comes away with it. Palmer tries to beat everybody down, and he almost did. Dennis got fouled. No question, Sutton pushed him. Sutton says before the shot. We'll see what the referee says.
Sutton sort of fell into him. That's definitely a foul, and that's number 4 on him as well. He was just trying to save the basket. He knows how important every basket is at this stage of the game.
I don't think he got pushed into him. I think he
was trying to keep him from scoring.
Look at this little guy get down in a hurry, Palmer. Quick as a hiccup.
And of course, that penetration created that opportunity.
So Sutton had to take a seat on the bench. He's got 4. English has 4, so the foul's pretty even in this game.
And Dennis is a good free throw shooter. He shoots 77% from the free throw line.
Tennessee Chattanooga 35 points in the first half, only 13 here in the second half. And Dennis gives his team their biggest lead at 56-48. Story in. Telford will take a break.
And a good job by Alan LaForce of getting his players who are in foul trouble out before they get tired and end up with a tired foul. One of those when you don't move your feet because you're a little bit tired.
Dennis now 10.5 and 18 in the game, and here's a 9-point lead. Plenty of time left, though. You saw over 8 minutes. Nelson thought about it. Stewart now in for Sutton. Brooks with the nice move, but no, Stewart with the offensive rebound. It wouldn't go. And the ball knocked away by East Tennessee, so the Moccasins get it back.
Well, so many of those points in the first half came on offensive rebounds, and they're not getting that many this half.
Under 8 minutes left to go, and East Tennessee's making their move. They're getting close to nitty-gritty time at the Southern Conference Championship in Asheville. Tennessee Chattanooga with the upper hand at the moment. You see how some of these fans prepare for the game, too?
Well, they're ready. They know exactly how important this game is, and they're definitely in the game themselves.
Look at the difference in the turnaround there.
Well, it looked grim for East Tennessee State's 4th in a row at halftime, but they've done a marvelous job in this second half of taking control of the game. UT Chattanooga's got to figure out how to score.
Knocked away again by East Tennessee. Pelfrey got his mid on it. The Moccasins with a new 45. And the steal by Silvers, who is excited to say the least.
A lot of emotion there. He knows how important every possession is at this stage of the game.
Well, the seniors on this team, they only know championships. 3 in a row, looking for 4. And when they were down in the first half, they never lost their cool.
They're going to use some clock with each possession now.
It's down to 15. Silvers, the penetration move, and ringed out. And the rebound by Threets. Time continues to dwindle down to 7:05 left in the game. And still a 9-point advantage for East Tennessee. The Moccasins work on that. Chattanooga led by as many as 9 in the first half. Wide open. Sneed. No, it was an air ball. Palmer, the little guy, got the ball. And now he takes his time, Terry.
Trying to post up Nelson with Sneed in the game is tough.
Story of 3 wasn't there, and Brooks got the rebound.
Allen LaForce is not happy with that shot. Story was wide open, but he wanted to run some clock before they took the shot.
Sutton, no, he's just cooled off in the second half. 16 in the first and only 2 here in the second. Brooks has been shut out in the game too, and he averages 14 and a half. And Threets with only 3 points, he averages 17. What a pass inside, and Dennis makes him pass.
Great second half for Greg Dennis. He played well in the first half, but he's got 12 in this half for a total of 20 points.
And there you see the biggest lead by anybody. And a timeout is called. 6 minutes left in this game, and Mac McCarthy's going to have to figure out something. His team's in a hole. 6 minutes away from the big dance. That's what East Tennessee State is, and they've gotten the ball in this half, Terry Holland, to the big guy, Greg Dennis.
Well, they figured out how to score in this half, and of course, there's been a tremendous role reversal in this half. In that first half, what happened was East Tennessee State couldn't find a way to score. In the second half, what we've had is a really tough time by UT Chattanooga. They've scored 13 points now in 14 minutes.
And East Tennessee's really turned the trick on them in the rebounding too. 17-9. Remember, they were out rebounded 30-15 in the first half. They just went to the boards and went to their inside game. English had a good second half until he hit the foul trouble, and Dennis has been terrific. And again, the defense remains a constant, really, for both sides.
I think I'd like to have heard the halftime speech that Allen LaForce gave his team.
You'd bottle that, huh, Coach?
Absolutely. I mean, the reversal here has been unbelievable.
Nelson, he pushed off to get it.
Boy, that's frustrating for Nelson. He got banged in there pretty good himself. It looked like he got pushed first. He pushed back, and they called the second one.
And now he's got 4-2. Everything going that man's way. Allen LaForce as he tries to pick up his 4th. Look at the upset, and there's the Big East upset.
And of course, Washington State, the classic bubble team, and that's a big win for them because at this time of the year, a win over a nationally ranked team like USC gives them a much better shot at the NCAA at-large bid.
Silvers. 1-1. No. So the Moccasins stay alive with 5.5 to go, down by 11. Brooks, oh, what a move. He had Palmer falling down with that. And Brooks finally on the scoreboard.
Well, it's been a tough night for him, and looking at his stats, I think he's a real key to this UT Chattanooga team. They haven't been able to get him on track. Levert Threats really has not been that much of a threat tonight either.
Chattanooga's got to make something happen, down by 9. There's plenty of time left, 5 minutes even. Of course, English back in the game.
East Tennessee State does such a great job of controlling the basketball. It's very difficult to take it away from them.
Sometimes when you have an 11-point lead, 9-point lead like this is, and you go to this delay game, it takes you out of it. Look at Palmer. That one was from downtown, not even close, and that allows Chattanooga to try to edge even closer. Do you like to use the clock that way with 5 minutes to go?
Well, you like to use the clock, but what you'd like to be able to do is get some penetration and give yourself a better chance to score. When you shoot from the outside like that with the defense locked in, you've only got one chance, and that's that first shot. If you can get some penetration, get a little better shot maybe, but give yourself a chance to get on the glass is tremendously important at this stage of the game, because another possession on the offensive boards means either a quick basket or another 45 seconds off that clock.
Palmer picked up his second. That's the 8th, so this will be a 1-and-1. And Alan LaForce has brought all the starters back in. English, Story, Dennis, along with Niblett and Talford. Brooks, 1-and-1, yes, and that's a big one.
Well, as hard a time as UT Chattanooga is having scoring against the defense, you really don't want to foul them and allow them to score points without the clock running.
The junior from Louisville knocks them both down. It's a 7-point game with 4:30 left in the contest. The Moccasins the last 4 in a row.
Greg Dennis is working so hard without the basketball to get position down below.
Niblett, and what a tough shot there. His first 2 points of the half, but they're big. He's got 7 in the game, and that lead back to 9.
Alan LaForce is happy to have the 2 points, but I think he's wondering, why are we taking it so quickly?
Brooks, no. Nelson couldn't get it to go, and look who comes up with it, Niblett, who just came into the game.
It's nice to have those fresh legs on the floor at this stage of the game. Palmer was able to give Niblett a great rest.
Brooks all over Niblett. He's a 75% free throw shooter, by the way. And time will become a factor here with that 9-point lead, and you see it starting to dwindle.
And East Tennessee State has some awfully fine free throw shooters on the floor, so you really can't foul them and put them on the line. Marty Story is the only one of these guys out on the floor right now shooting below 70%, and most of them are 75 and above.
They shoot almost 71% as a team. Into Dennis, and that's where they want it. He tried to get it to Story. There's 5 on the shot clock. English blocked. Dennis better shoot it. He does. No. And away with the ball comes Nelson. He's got to be careful with those 4 fouls, but he was still aggressive there. Brooks to 3. Look at English get the rebound ahead to Dennis. He's got Talford, but he elects to go to the second man, the trailer, and Story gives his team an 11-point lead.
Great execution by both Dennis and Talford. Talford took the defense through on the clear out and cleared the way for Marty Story.
2.5, just a little more than that. Inside they go Nelson. He walked, he got away with it.
I think there was so much contact there, they said, we can't call that unless we call a foul. Let them play.
17 for Nelson, 8.5. 9-point game. East Tennessee will use some clock. Dennis, and he just sends it back out to Talford, and they'll re-trigger, and that'll get the crowd going again.
I don't know about throwing the ball in there, because that could have very easily been converted into a fast break and been just like an outlet pass.
Dennis, the quick move, and the foul. It's on Nelson, and that is number 5.
Well, East Tennessee's in great shape right now. It's going to take a stupendous effort and some spectacular plays at both ends of the floor for UT Chattanooga to get back into this game. East Tennessee has it going their way. They're taking control. They're playing exactly like you'd want them to play. Good job of going inside here to the guy who's been hot all half.
Tough call there for a 5th foul, but nonetheless, the contact was made, and I like the way Nelson went over to his team at the free throw line. He knew it was his 5th. He rallied him around. He said, "Don't quit yet." Senior from Louisville, Kentucky. He'll play another game. It may be in the NIT now, but he'll play another game.
Well, I think, again, with 23 wins, you can certainly make a case for Chattanooga, and with 22 for East Tennessee State. Probably East Tennessee has more solid wins against teams that are likely to be in the field than Chattanooga does, so they might have had the best chances in that large team. But it looks like UT Chattanooga is the one that's going to have to wait and see if they get a bid as an at-large team.
He's had a great tournament, 23 in the semi, 21 tonight. He's been terrific in the second half, hitting the boards, hitting from outside. He's 3 out of 4 from the line, now 4 out of 5, and the lead is back to 11, 65-54. And the folks from Johnston City, Tennessee, they start to smell it. They think they're going to the dance. 11-point game for East Tennessee. 2:04 left to go in this Southern Championship, and they're starting to think that they're on their way to the NCAA. The pass and the finger roll by Marty Story. That's his only points in the game, Terry. And what a marvelous second half for East Tennessee. Timeouts. The Moccasins only have one left. They both have 8, so it's 1-1 situation, and Chattanooga's got the arrow. That's about the only thing going their way. What happened here in the second half to turn this thing around so heavily to East Tennessee State's advantage?
Well, I think Mac McCarthy had a great game plan. His team came out, executed it extremely well, played very physically, and I think maybe East Tennessee State was surprised at how tough they were. In the second half, I guess Alan LaForce really did a great job at halftime of telling his youngsters what it was going to take to win this game.
That 3 by Treach was blocked. Story is tied up, and remember, we just showed you the arrow goes to Chattanooga, so they'll have another shot. 1:42 to go, and they are trying to set it up to the all-time top three-point shooter in the conference, Threets.
Well, again, you see the tremendous turnaround. Threets has not been a factor, particularly from three-point range, and the field goal percentage, 29%. That's exactly what East Tennessee State shot in the first half.
Isn't that amazing? I mean, you're talking a complete role reversal from the first half to the second, but the championship teams come to play in the second. And there's a nifty steal by Niblett, and he's played a big role down the stretch here.
And what defense East Tennessee State has played. They blocked a three-pointer on that last possession as well as made the steal.
Niblett again. He's got Story down low. He doesn't go to him. He goes to Dennis, and that may be the icing on the cake.
And again, almost the exact same play. That time Story made the clear out, which Calford had done for him earlier, which allowed Dennis to get in for the dunk.
24 for Dennis. He'll probably be the tourney MVP. The force by Brooks. No, but look at him fight. Dennis is there, and Dennis is fouled with 1:02 to go, and it's 69-54, a 15-point Buccaneer advantage, and the Moccasins start to feel the pain, the frustration.
Well, give Greg Dennis credit. Excellent first half, but what a tremendous second half, and he's doing a little bit of everything. You see how tough it is to get a shot up for UT Chattanooga. Dennis, look at this effort. One time he goes after it. The second time we've seen him go after it sometimes 3 and 4 times if that's what it took to get the job done. He's got my vote for MVP.
Shane Neal will come back in. He played sparingly in the first half, and out goes Larry Stewart. Don't forget, coming up next, Southwestern Louisiana and Louisiana Tech as championship week continues. The Sun Belt title tilt. La Tech always tough. Raging Cajuns good this year too.
A good job by Mac McCarthy here. He's going with some subs on the front line, and the idea is not necessarily to give up. He knows this game is probably over, but he knows what a tremendous year his team has had, and he's telling his players that, guys, this one's over, but you've had a tremendous year. You've got nothing to be ashamed of.
The graphic you saw showed you the points that Dennis has had. He's worked well on the boards, and then you saw the 4 years in a row that East Tennessee has won this tournament title. A nice 3 by Sutton. So he's got 21 in the game. That matches his career high, but the time is running out. 71-57, and it's keep away time. There's a 6-second differential on the shot clock and the game clock. Actually just 5. And Ron Wilson on the foul for the Moccasins. They got to try to stop the clock any way they can. It's been a nice run for Mac McCarthy.
They've had a great season. He does a tremendous job of coaching his team, and he hasn't given up yet.
They voted him Coach of the Year. Look at him. Alan LaForce. It's hard to believe he's winning. He's still into it.
Alan is very intense. His team reflects that intensity, and particularly in this second half, they've done exactly what he asked them to do at halftime.
You know, Greg Dennis played 2 games last year, preseason NIT, fractured his right foot, and missed the whole year. The sweet year it would have been with the seniors who were on here and Mr. Jennings.
I'm sure he's glad to be back this year, though, the way things are going right now. This will be their 23rd win. He should be the tournament MVP. Started slowly. Really had a tough time recovering from that year off.
Last year they lost to Iowa 73-70 did the East Tennessee Buccaneers. The year before that, they were knocked around by 16 points by Georgia Tech. They lost to Oklahoma 3 years ago by a deuce, 72-70. So they could make a run at somebody. They've got the big guy, and they've got the athletes.
Yeah, that loss last year, 73-70. Calvin Talford was hurt in the tournament and was not able to play in the NCAA playoffs. So they lost to Iowa by 3 without Talford and Dennis.
You saw the joy, and now you see the sorrow.
And again, neither team has anything to be ashamed of in a game like this. They've had great seasons.
Niblett with one more. He's got 9 in the game. Okay, you can start the party. The campus will be a fun place to be tonight.
4 in a row. That's impressive.
And the junior from Martin, Virginia, has double figures.
A lot of teams make the NCAA field 4 years in a row, but very few are able to win a conference tournament to do that. And this is very, very impressive what Alan LaForce and his team have been able to do after Les Robinson went to NC State.
Hey, you get to join this fun next year. Southern University and Georgia Southern, Davidson, excuse me, and Georgia Southern enter the Southern Conference.
That's right, and Davidson was a member of the Southern Conference for 50-plus years, was an independent for 3 years, and now having a chance to come back after joining the Big South Conference, come back to the Southern Conference next year. We're all excited at Davidson.
Everybody remembers Terry Holland as the coach of Virginia, but now the athletic director of Davidson. What a pretty place to be.
Well, it's a great school, a great academic institution, and of course, I spent my years as a player and as a coach there in the Southern Conference.
And they love that, don't they? Now here comes mass substitution. Everybody wants to be in on the fun, and you can't blame Alan LaForce. How about it? 6-0 in the Southern Conference tournament. He doesn't know what it's like to lose.
Now, that's true. You know, he's had a tremendous career at East Tennessee State, both as an assistant coach and now as the head coach.
Brooks waits for one more at the foul line as the bench celebrates. Well, Dennis deserves a hug, doesn't he? What a game for him tonight. 21 ticks left in the game. We'll just play out the string. The Moccasins will head to the NIT, and the Buccaneers will head to the NCAA. Although with 23 wins, maybe they'll look at UT Chattanooga. You never know. They're still hustling. They're still fighting. The arrow goes to East Tennessee with 12 seconds left to go.
Of course, it would have been very easy for Eric Palmer just to let him have the basketball and go down to the other end and let the clock run out, but he was still fighting and making a play on it himself.
And some more of the reserves come in. Lauren Riddick, number 23, and Robert Spears, number 50. They get a little ESPN airtime before it's all over. There's the happy bench. Marty Story and Riddick. An air ball out of bounds with 8 seconds to go. It'll belong to the Moccasins for one last gasp. I think we're about to be engulfed on the court when that clock runs out. So East Tennessee State fans ready to come. And Neal's shot won't go. And there it is. It's over. Here comes the sea of the crowd. Alan LaForce and Mac McCarthy shake hands. As Alan LaForce's team wins their 4th straight conference championship. And it's a wild scene at midcourt.
I'm glad there are no players in that game. That would be dangerous. Alan LaForce is keeping his players out of the celebration. They're waiting to cut down the nets. That's the way they're going to celebrate.
So to the big dance they go. 74-62. That is your final. The 4th straight year they're in the NCAA. Let's go now to John Saunders, who's standing by. There's your final.
Hi, David, Terry. Thanks a lot. 74-62 as they blow it over.